Hello, welcome to You Old and Retro. My name is Vincent and welcome to another video. Today I have an unboxing of the Yi 4K. This is the action camera kit, which includes the Bluetooth remote and the selfie stick. I would have unboxed this earlier. For some weird reason I got a really good deal off Amazon, and what happened was this particular model which I got, for some weird reason I got one which had been wasn't sealed and was already used. You could tell because there's a lot of stuff that was meant to be on the camera has already been peeled off. And basically a lot of stuff when you look at it and you just think, right, someone's actually already messed around with the camera already. It wasn't a clean unboxing. So what I ended up doing was returning it and getting another one. So I saved a bit of time. I've already slit the back open and had a quick double check to make sure it was a pristine model. Other than that, I've not actually taken anything out. This is a brand new unboxing of the Yi 4K. So this is the Yi's second generation model, I believe. It's called, also known as Yi 2. They've got a Yi standard action model camera, which is a bit like a lot of the other action cameras in the market. It has a lot of sort of like a button on the front of here and button at the top. I'm not sure if it's got a touchscreen, but that was the cheaper model that you can get for, I think, less than £100 now. This E4K goes for anywhere between 130 to £40 to up to about 200, depending on which model you get. Depending on what it comes with, basically. So you get the waterproof housing, or in this case is the Bluetooth selfie model, which adds another 10, 15, £20 onto the overall expense. Might be a bit more, I'm not 100% sure. So in this case, without further ado, let's go and look at the features of the camera. The camera is very similar to the E4K Plus that I unboxed earlier, so it does a lot of the same sort of functions. The E4K Plus has the UA processor, which is the H2. It has a standard Umbrella processor. There it is. It's the A9SE CPU. I think that's the difference. So it doesn't do 4K in 60 frames, 60p basically. This still does 4K in 30p, which is still really good for the price, especially when you look at the GoPro Hero 5 Black, I believe. That's still running you about £300. So not much in the box itself. It comes with a selfie stick, a Bluetooth remote, manual and usual stuff. All the regular stuff on this. Right, so this is less than £200, easy. So let's get this unboxed. Right, so you can tell what the box I originally received, this wasn't stuck on the lens. There was no shrink wrap on the selfie stick. This pull tab wasn't even there. A lot of stuff had been disturbed already. So this is a pristine box. So in the box you get, much like the E4K, you get the sort of square little flyer thing, basically asking to use their social media, look at the websites. You get limited warranty for the selfie stick. So it's an individual thing. Sort of memory cards to use. There's difference. This E4K only takes to 64 gig memory cards in general, for what I believe. So that's the slight difference. I believe the E4K Plus can use 128 gig. Slightly dented manual, because it's been thrown around a little bit. Use this from right to left. In fact, weirdly enough, just realised. So you generally get a lot of the same functions as before. You get the Bluetooth remote. So this slots on, something I can pull through before using. So obviously use the little CR2032 or something like that, or 2016 as well. Some sort of battery inside. Change between different functions and action it up. So that's very straightforward. So there's nothing else in that box itself. So inside here we have the USB cable. This is micro USB. It's slightly different. Again, to the 4K. 4K jumps to USB-C, which is quite nice. There's something else in here. It's on the other side. So there's a battery. Looks like a battery. Here we go. This uses the same battery as the 4K Plus. That's great, which means you get an extra spare battery just from buying this. You have more than one of the cameras, so that's nice. It saves you 10, 15, 20 pounds, depending on what it is, how much it costs in your country. You get a little manual for the selfie stick itself, and obviously probably how to pair it up and how to use it. Some shrink wrap on the thing itself. That's interesting. It's basically, you can take this off and actually mount it onto a tripod, which is quite good, which basically extends the height of the tripod without actually basically acts a bit more like the 3-in-1 Polar Pro tripler. You do get the mount bit for the remote. Fairly well usable ball jointing, so that's really nice and smooth. Locks into place. Minimal move at the top, so it stays pretty much upright as you wanted. Extends out using the slight twist, so you twist everything out and then twist it back in. So you twist it back in to get the lock. In fact, it has the mechanism there that tells you what to do. That's fairly sturdy. That is actually quite good. I mean, say as be as it may, it is from Xiaomi at the end of the day, or they're contracted by Xiaomi to be able to use such a device. It's nice. I'll probably get the shrink wrap at some point. This looks like it opens up, which means I can slot this remote in. There you go. That locks in. And as you use it long, you can click that, use the functions. Very, very handy. Not very heavy. It's a little bit of metal, and yeah, it's well made selfie stick this actually. And it's flexible because of the screw mount thing, which is really nice. So that's handy. And last but not least is the G4K unit itself. So that's a really clean model. By comparison, let's get back to 1 second. Let's peel off this stuff and get the G4K as well. So here's both models. As you can see, they both are exactly the same size, more or less from what I can see. They're slightly more curved on the edge of here, I think, or is it? It's not actually even noticeable. Top half, it's a little bit more. As we have two microphones here, whereas the G4K Plus has put a microphone on the side port there. That's a slight difference. Both buttons are very similar. So that's really nice. Screw thread mount on the bottom as well. As I said, the ports are going to be the difference in that one's micro USB and the 4K Plus using micro USB-C. Both got touch screens with the same size, similar. Let me get the battery in on the 4K. fact, actually it's exactly the same as the 4K Plus. You get the battery, you slot it in, and it locks into place, and then you just literally slide the mount. In fact, this is actually smoother than the 4K Plus, which I have. So it's a bit more. So really, the one I have is probably a little bit more interlocking in that sense. It's stiffer. It's not a bad thing, but what I've noticed was actually kept pressing and switching it on whenever. So this is probably the bad point of the camera itself. It does, however, it is exactly the same. It does seem to, just seems to be, the metal is a bit stiffer. Again, you get the battery here. You have a USB. No, so the micro SD card slot is there as well. And again, it's exactly the same on the E4K. SD card slot there. The battery goes here. That's literally it. In fact, let's switch on both. Yep, just a bit of power in each one. So we go through menu systems very quickly. I'm in video mode on both of these at the moment. So video mode wise, I get various 4Ks. This is the E4K Plus on my right hand side and the E4K on here. So resolution wise, you don't get the full slightly higher res 60p. So you get 30 frames per second, you get 24 using the ultra mode, which I believe is slightly different. See, on the 4K here, you can do 24, 30, 48 and 60, which you can't do on the 4K here. And there's, I believe, a lot of the various other functions are very, very similar. So we go to the 1440. It's down here. It's 60 frames. Again, you get a completely an extra bunch of options like 24 and 48, which is quite nice if you want that more slightly cinematic 24 frames model. All the way down to 480. Yep, exactly the same. So you want that high speed sort of imagery. It does a lot the same things. So all the way up to 90 FPS on the ultra model. Exactly the same on this. The sensor it uses in both cameras is actually exactly the same. It's just that the processor allows it to be used in a slightly different way, shall we say. So you still get wide version view. I don't think you can do that in ultra. In standard, I think you can. So if I change this back to standard, let's just do it to be. If the other view is again different. Various other options again are all very, very similar. It's got electronic stabilization on, yes. You can adjust the lens distortion. The E4K Plus can do it at a higher resolution. I do know you can do up to 4K on this. So if I change this to 4K standard resolution, see the lens distortion doesn't come on. Whereas if I change the resolution to 4K 30 on this, just lens distortion is on. So this can be easily checked. So you see slight distortion on the bottom of here, whereas the box on my one here is perfectly straight. So again, you see the slight U-bend there. It's been straightened out using this, so that's a handy thing about the 4K Plus, is it because it's got added power to be able to do that. This might take more power in terms of like battery resources and that kind of thing. Just to let you know, so just be aware of that. The battery life of the V4K Plus is slightly worse than the V4K because it's using, obviously if you're doing 60p video, that's going to take a lot more power, and it's using the same battery basically. So even though it's got a U processor, the processor isn't as efficient in that sense, because you're doing more with the processor. You're getting more bang for your buck basically in the same amount of time. So it might take a little bit more energy. Yeah. And then the menu system is, other than that, very, very similar. I mean, it does have voice control on this, the E4K Plus, so that's quite a handy feature. There is no voice control on this. Just have a mic. It's got various stuff for that. So it's quite nice in that sense. It's a bit of a shame that they couldn't put voice control on this, but that's not the end of the world. So look at the bounce. It's all like the same. Actually, here we go, device info. So the build info here. So this is the E4K. So the builds are slightly different. I need to change the time on this, obviously I just put it back on. But yeah, the serial numbers are completely different on here. So that's great. Other than that, so this is the E4K. This is a great budget option as a comparison to the E4K Plus. This you can really get a really good deal these days. I mean, this is easily the best. It's just over £100, 4K model, and it's got touch screen. It's got a really good battery life. It's got screw thread mounts that makes it really good for a lot of camera accessories. I wholeheartedly recommend this over GoPro. GoPro themselves, the Hero 5 Black, which does the same features more or less, but it's added waterproofing, is at least £100 to £150 more at the bare minimum. Even then, you don't get the same sort of battery life. There's a lot of things on the GoPro which basically aren't worth. I mean, waterproof housing for this is like £20 or £30 at most, and then so that's a massive issue. And you could easily just get the version with the waterproof housing in the first place. So that only costs you £10 to £15, and the various options available out there on like Amazon or whatever is such that you can pick this up with a waterproof housing for more or less the same price. So that's a really good thing. And then I know GoPro themselves have put out a budget option which is about £200. But that's the only issue with that is, although it's waterproofed, it's got a touch screen, it still doesn't do 4K, and the 4K is beginning to really get sort of to another level now. A lot of TVs are going to be 4K, while video especially is a key thing. Is that if you are limited to 1080p, it is noticeable. If you've got a 4K footage and you downsample it to 1080p, you get that added resolution to work from and to do panning and other stuff like that. So it's definitely worth having the added features of a 4K system. So at the end of the day, I would wholeheartedly recommend the E4K. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you like this video. Give us a thumbs up and have a nice day.